So for step 10, the chassis frame, well, this is where we really start to see the bike take shape. And you can see here are the pieces that we're going to need to put together for this. And you can also see that we're going to be putting together this piece here, which is basically like the swing arm for the back to the front kind of thing. You can see the G2 pieces. Well, again, there's our G parts tree, the two right there, and I've matched them up to the ball bearings that I have for the kit. So there is all the hardware that we need, and I'll set this up and let's put the frame together. So first off, you can see that we need to put this together because then it's going to go into the chassis frame before we close it up. So you can see that we're going to need to put this E-clip onto here. So I'm just going to grab my pair of pliers. Snap that in place just like that. Now you can see they're showing you with putting on the grease. I will not be doing that because we are using the ball bearings. So we can see that one bearing is going to sit at the end, as you can see that it the way it slides on. And we're going to grab this piece here, which you can see on the rib side. You want to make sure that faces this way, so that's going to slide on just like that. And then on this side, you can see that we're going to need to slide the bearing into place, and it's just going to sit just like that. Now the bearings seem a little loose, so you may have to make sure that they stay in during this build process, but that's very, very cool. Interesting design. So that part is done. So here's what we need to do. So you can see here, there is one half of the frame, that's the other half, and then we have this piece here that has to go in. So you can see in terms of the way this is shaped, if we grab, and maybe that's the easiest way to do this, if we grab, and I just want to make sure that it is correct, yes. So if we grab this side, you can see that this piece is going to fit into here, just like that. This piece here is going to sit where this notched cross section is going to sit into the bigger hole right there, so that on either side, that's where the screws are going to go to hold this in. So you've got that in place, we've got that in place. So now this needs to fit over top. So again, just matching it all up. There we go. So ultimately, that is what your frame is going to end up looking like. So now we need to screw this all together. Now, one of the things that I would suggest is that we have 5 of these MA3 screws and 2 of the MB3s. And the MB3s are down here. So, and we know that it's basically keeping this part attached. So I would suggest getting those ones in first, because we know they're the longer screw, and it means that you're not going to get them confused with the other screws at a later date. So for example, if we get these 2 in, I'm just going to make sure that they do go in. Yeah, and I'm not going to tighten it yet because I want to make sure that everything else fits properly. But by putting those 2 screws in, we now know that all the rest of them are going to go into all the other holes. We're not confusing sizes. So let's see what one we're going to put on next. So if we see that is going to go in there. And the bearing wants to keep popping out, so I'm just going to let it stay out for now. So there's two. And we've got another one down here below. And we've got another one right there down in the center. Well, let's try it this way. And the last one goes right down there in that hole right there. Okay, all the screws are in, but I'm just going to tighten these off camera. No need to see that really. Just do, the way that I'd like to do it is kind of keep going back and forth, making sure that nothing's binding. And then we'll take a quick last look. So there is the finished chassis frame, and you can see that that is the swing arm for the steering. So very, very cool. So that is it for step 10. So we're going to move on to step 11 now, and we're going to attach the battery holder.